Alright guys, so I don't know how long the battery's gonna last. It's pretty much about to die. It's on 1 bar right now on the GoPro. But we just got done from Carson Coffee. We've been driving it around right now, so we're just gonna do the vlog part. I'll put the windows up a little bit for better sounding. We have found this little nice piece of road that we've been driving on, and we've been testing the car out so far. I mean, it's driving really nice. As far as handling wise, there's still a lot of little baby noises like a loose bolt sound and everything, but the car is driving well, it handles well, except when you hit a bump. The suspension is definitely really stiff.
It's not made for bumps.
Yeah, not made for bumps at all.
Made for racetrack.
Yeah, racetrack only.
But the road's not too bumpy, except for back there.
Yeah, back there is pretty bumpy, but other than that, the road is really...
As we say that, there's a shit ton of bumps.
Right. The road is nice. I don't know if you guys can hear me because all the noise. It was this street, right?
Yeah.
We've been driving the car around, and she's handling really well. All the suspension parts that I put on there is working really properly, and I have no complaints so far as the suspension goes.
It's like a loop.
Yeah.
I looked on Google Maps, it loops around, and then you can go right somewhere. Not here though. Go ahead.
So all the suspension parts working, steering wheel handles really nice, very responsive. There's really nice houses up here. Yeah, I mean, it's driving really good, guys. No complaint. Everything is
Rodents.
Rodents over there.
I don't know if it's that way or this way.
Oh man, it's kind of hot in here.
It's very
windows. The car still runs really hot as far as the heat going through the firewall. So the header heat wrap that I put on didn't really work. I'm sure it worked a little bit, but not enough that I can tell the difference. So that's kind of disappointing.
Looks cooler.
Yeah, it looks cooler, so that's nice. Dang, what is that? There's some freaking nice houses up here. We're in Mexico, by the way. Nice part of Mexico. But basically, yeah, the header wrap didn't work too well. And then I was reading further on the header wrap, and
that was a big loop.
Basically, what happened with the header wrap is that it does prevent the, like, you know, hot...
The heat escaping.
Yeah, the heat escaping. But the bad thing is that you don't really want the heat. You don't really want that to happen in a sense, because it's bad for your material as far as the headers. It definitely wears out the gasket a lot faster because of the heat. So what it does is it traps the heat into the headers, which of course when your car is running, hot heat from the exhaust side means that the air is going to move out of the exhaust a lot faster. So in a sense, it kind of helps out the flow of the car and everything. So it has a little performance gain there.
So you're saying it has 10 horsepower.
Yeah. Pretty much. And then yeah, but it's still really hot, like not to the point where I can't drive the car, but it's just a little uncomfortable. But winter is coming, so we don't really have to worry about that too much at all. So we don't got to worry about that. So which is kind of nice.
It doesn't even get that cold here though, so.
Yeah, it doesn't get cold at all in San Antonio. I mean,
I feel like it doesn't get cold until like December.
Weak ass clutch kick. Yeah, it doesn't really get cold till like March and everything, so it's kind of lame. What else? I'm running out. Oh damn, somebody crashed over there. I'm running out of things to say.
What's that noise? You hear that?
Strange noise coming from the back. It's like something.
No idea.
No idea. Oh well. Dang, it's really hot in here without the windows down. The car's fuck. I mean, it's driving nice. No complaints so far. I keep saying that.
Other than the heat.
Yeah. I mean, the AC works, but if I turn it on, it might overheat, and I don't want that to happen. We're kind of far from our house. Like I said, we're in Mexico.
There they are.
Oh shit, that's where they are.
Biker gang.
Bikers.
Back to scenic view.
Shit.
Have to cut that out.
What else do we need to talk about? Okay, so as far as suspension wise what's in the car, I have TN Super Drift coilovers with some ISIS or ISIS adjustable arms on her, the version 2. And then I have OEM lower control arm because my ball joint was messed up, so I replaced that. And then what else? Of course, the whole set as far as the adjustable arms. So no worries there or anything like that. Everything is aligned as far as the car. It has Z32 aluminum rear calipers, and then the fronts are 30 millimeter. God, I can't say that right. Iron in the front. So far, no complaints on that at all. The brakes is actually very responsive and sensitive. As far as the brake master cylinder or BMC, I'm using the NAPCO 1/16, right?
I think it's 1.
I don't know. Oh no, yeah, it's the one, not the
1 inch bore.
Yeah, 1 inch bore. And that, as far as the pedal feel on her, it's pretty much like I don't know. Yeah, she's a girl. My car's a girl. The 240, pretty much the pedal feel at first, it's a little. It sinks. Yeah, it's like light as the throttle, and then like maybe half an inch or an inch, it gets really hard. And I haven't done like hard braking on her or on the 240 because you have to kind of, since I have brand new rotors, brand new pads, brand new everything, you kind of want to let it, what do you call it?
You break in the brakes for like 500 miles or some shit.
Just about 500 miles, and then after that, you're pretty much good to go.
Tear it up?
Yeah, you can tear it up, brake as hard as you can. We're going to see how hot the brakes gets too. We're going to test that out because it's iron. So with iron, of course it's stronger, but it doesn't dissipate heat faster. So they tend to, of course, heat up and fade. But with the aluminum, of course, it's a lot cooler. But the bad thing is that when it gets really hot, it warps. But you have to do like some crazy road racing and all that stuff.
Endurance.
Yeah. But I'm sure with any brakes, they do fade at the end. You can probably keep that cooler by adding a better better brake fluid with a higher temperature capacity, or of course
make a shield for
yeah,
the heat.
make a shield for the heat, or some sort of duct that goes to your brakes and helps it cool down. Of course, slotted drill rotors, but some people don't like using that just because of it's squeaky. Had that before, and one of my cars I used to drive had the slotted drill rotors, and pretty much everywhere you go, brand new or you know you've been driving on it for a long time, it's still squeaky. Like everywhere you stop, squeak. Like it sounds like you have bad brakes, but in reality is you don't.
And you can't get them like resurfaced, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, so that's as far as suspension wise, that's pretty much what it has. Actually, I did forget. It does have a remanufactured steering rack. It's by Rack Doctor. It was pretty much the cheapest place I can find with the steering rack. You do have to turn in your core, of course, like with any other place. And
it includes tie rods.
yeah, it includes tie rods and everything, so that's kind of nice. Not the outer tie rods, but just the tie rods. So it's really good deal. I got mine for $180 after I got my mail-in rebate for my core, and everywhere else you're looking at like $300 or above, or even more, really. So it's really a good deal. So if you guys are looking for like a steering rack, your car, you know, I would suggest going with steering rack. Rack Doctor. Another thing also the car has, when I got my steering rack, I went ahead and got a TN or Tyne inner tie rods on her, and then outer tie rods also too, the combo. What else? The front lower control arms has been replaced also with OEM. Or not really OEM, but off-brand OEM that I got from FR Sport.
Manufactured by somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same. What else? Of course, the brake lines are Aced Up Motorsports. And then you guys know about the Northeast steering wheel that I have. The TN coilovers or Tyne coilovers has the camber plates up top also, so you can change out the different camber. It has the aftermarket ones due to the guy that was using it before. I got it used on Craigslist for, I think it was like 800 bucks. I forgot. It was like 2 years ago.
800.
Yeah, 800 bucks. There you go. And the guy that was using it before, he used it on his S13 drift car. And so it didn't really had a lot of track use, street use on the coilovers, so it's kind of nice. But at the same time, you're probably like, oh, track use is more harsher, but it's drifting. It's not like an endurance race or what do you call that? A road race.
They do short runs.
Yeah, they do short runs, so the coilovers fluid in there doesn't really get hot enough and do all that stuff, bad stuff. Yeah. For it to really take bad effects, so it's kind of nice. As far as the setup on that, I have no idea as far as what dampening I'm using. I just pretty much left the ride height and the stiffness to the same one as he had it on, which is stiff as fuck. So
it's not dialed in.
Yeah, it's not fully dialed in.
Like alignment's good, but not the damper.
Yeah, not the damper. I was planning on getting the EDFC for it, but due to circumstances with my job, the way my bank account works is that I'm running out of money. So with any 240s, of course, biggest factor is money, or that's with any car build. So
patience and money.
Yeah, patience and money and time.
Unless you have enough money to have someone else build it.
Yeah, if you have someone else build it, good for you. But for us, we do everything in our garage, so we gotta do what we gotta do.
We don't do alignments.
Look at those Mustangs. So that's a little bit overview as far as what my suspension setup is. So you guys are probably wondering, like, man, you have all that suspension, but your engine is a KA. Well, if you really look at it, the way I wanted to build my car is that I wanted to be able to handle good, of course, and get the handling sorted out, because that's pretty much the cheapest part. And then as far as speed goes, I mean, good handling means you can take the corner faster and brake later. So there's some good advantage there. And with the KA, I mean, with drifting, you don't really need all that power. Like, you don't need a V8 or anything like that. You put like some crappy tires on, and then what do you call it? And you should be good to go. And another thing too is, like, you don't want to start out with like 500 horsepower car, because you're never gonna learn how to drive the car properly. So you want to start out with, like, you know, like, okay motor, enough for you to be going around the track without overheating or anything like that, and then hone your skill from there. And then once you get your bigger motor, you already know how your car handles, so now you can drive it better and not crash it and put it into a wall. So that's pretty much the reason why I went this route instead of doing coilovers and then engine swap like everybody else. So this way it's a lot, I don't know, it's more economical. I'm still enjoying the car even though I don't have that much power. I can go on curvy roads and enjoy it. Like with power, I mean, you're gonna feel it on the straight line, but that's not that fun. Taking the corners fast and being able to take turns a lot faster than normal car, it's a lot fun. Get to enjoy the nice scenery on the road and everything. I can fix that. I can fix that. But that's pretty much about it for everything, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little blog about my car. And if you guys have any questions about my setup, please comment below. I mean, I'll be happy to give you guys advice on the parts that I bought for my car. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and you guys have a good day. Peace out.